Hi, this is Praveen. Now let's continue the discussion on light. So now let's discuss about reflection and images and their related questions. First, let's start with reflection. What is reflection? Reflection is the bouncing back of light. So in this light, in reflection to understand, let's consider a plane mirror. So it is a plane mirror, and if we incident a light ray somewhat like this, it reflects to some other direction like this. So here we have the bouncing back of light in another direction, and this phenomenon of light is considered as reflection. So firstly, the light which incidents and hits the plane mirror is called as incident ray. So this ray is called as incident ray, and next the incident ray hits the mirror at a point, and this point is called as point of incidence. Point of incidence. So it is called as point of incidence. And next, from the point of incidence, the incident ray gets reflected to another direction under the name of reflected ray. And then, so the line which is perpendicular to the plane mirror like this in 90 degrees is called as a normal. And also the angle found between the incident ray and the normal is called as angle of incidence. So this angle is angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. And next, angle of incidence is represented with I. So next, the angle found between the normal and the reflected ray is called as, so the angle here is called as angle of reflection. Which is represented by using R. And next, the angle found between the incident ray and the plane mirror. So this is the plane mirror. And the angle found between the incident ray and the plane mirror here is called as the glancing angle. So this is the glancing angle. Represented by alpha. And next, if we produce this reflected ray behind this mirror, we will get an image somewhat like this. And the angle found between the incident ray and the produced reflected ray like this here is called as angle of deviation, represented with D. Angle of deviation. So these are the angles that we can found in the reflection. So these are the important and the basic terminologies which we use under reflection. So now let's look at the laws of reflection. Laws of reflection. So we have two laws of reflection. So the first law of reflection states that the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal on the point of incidence lie on the same plane. So all these things lie on the same plane is as per the first law of reflection. And next is the second law of reflection, that is the angle of incidence I is equals to angle of reflection R. That means the angle found between the incident ray and the normal is equals to the angle found between normal and the reflected ray. So these are the two laws of reflection. So next is the types of reflection. So reflection is of two types. One is regular reflection. Another one is irregular reflection or scattered reflection or diffused reflection. So these two are the broad categories of reflection. So under regular reflection, there is a surface which is flat, and due to that reason all the light rays would be parallel to each other. So it is the reflection that is happening, and another ray is also looking parallel to the first ray. So it is called as regular reflection, and regular reflection takes place in a flat surfaces like a plane mirror. Plane mirror. So coming to the irregular or the scattered or the diffused reflection. So in this reflection there would be some irregularities. So in this irregularities, if we project a light ray, then it deflects to some other direction. So it deflects towards some other direction. So like this we have some irregularities in the surface. So some examples of this irregular reflection can be found in paper. So we think that the paper is flat, but at microscopic level we can find that paper has some irregularities. So these are the two broad categories of reflection. So it is about reflection. Now let's come to images. Images are representation of the objects behind the mirror or beyond the mirror. So in these images they can be further classified under two types. So they can be classified in two types as real image and virtual image. First, we will look at the formation of virtual image and then look at the formation of a real image. So in virtual image, first let's take a plane mirror, and in this plane mirror, if we consider a point source, so as I have told earlier in my previous classes on light, that the point source is the source of a beam of light. So here, let's say the beam of light falls, one is perpendicular, another one goes towards the top. So now, which goes to the top, it reflects to some other angle, and which is perpendicular to the plane mirror reflects in the same direction. If the light ray is perpendicular to the plane mirror, then the angle found between the incident ray and the normal is equal to 0. So incident ray is equal to 0, then reflected ray is also 0 as per second law of reflection. So there is no reflection takes place and reflects in the same direction. So if we elongate and produce the reflected rays behind the mirror, we will get the image that is formed here, which is the virtual image. Virtual image, and the object is called as real object. So an important question for you is, so the distance between real object and the plane mirror is 5 meters. Then what is the distance between the object and the image? So now the distance between the object and mirror is 5 meters, and also the distance between the plane mirror and the virtual image also becomes 5 meters. Because both real object and virtual image, they have the same distance from the mirror. And next, if we want to find the distance between object and image, we have to add the 5 meters and 5 meters. So the answer is 10 meters. So 10 meters of distance is there between real object and a virtual image in this question. So looking at the formation of the real image, firstly we have to consider a plane mirror again. So now let's say the object is looking somewhat like this. So if the object is like this, so let's say at the top of the object the light rays start, one goes perpendicular to the plane mirror, another one goes towards the south direction, towards the bottom. So here it is moving in this direction. So looking at the bottom, it also in the same way. So one goes perpendicular, another one goes to the bottom. So if the light ray incidents on this plane mirror, they would reflect. So in this top case, first let's look at top and then go to bottom. So in the top, one is perpendicular, so it reflects back in the same direction like this. And looking at the another ray which is going towards the bottom, it reflects in an angle like this. And next, coming to the bottom, first ray is perpendicular to the plane mirror. So due to that reason, it again reflects in the same direction. So looking at the bottom, it is going towards the bottom, and again it is reflecting towards some other direction. So the image is formed in this portion. So here we have the formation of the image between the reflected rays. So here we have the object which is virtual object and the image formed is real image. So the real object forms virtual image and the virtual object forms the real image. So it is about the classification of images. So now let's understand about the magnification of the plane mirror by using the images. Firstly, let's consider a plane mirror and let us see. In the previous case, we have taken that the object is somewhat like this. So let's take the same object and look how the image is formed. So in the previous case, where we have looked at the formation of real image, we have seen that at the top, one ray goes perpendicular towards the plane mirror and another ray goes to the bottom. What happens if another light ray moves towards the north direction? So the first light ray is perpendicular to the plane mirror and another one goes towards the north direction like this. And looking at the bottom, one goes perpendicular and another goes towards the bottom and reflects in some other direction. So here, in this case, let's look at top first. So coming to here, one ray is perpendicular. So due to that reason, it reflects back in the same direction. And next, looking at the another object, it is moving towards the north direction and deflecting in this direction. So coming to the bottom, the first ray is perpendicular to the plane mirror and reflects back in the same direction. Looking at the light ray which goes towards the bottom, it again reflects back in this direction. So now we have 4 reflected rays. If we produce all these 4 reflected rays like this, if we produce all the reflected rays, it becomes like this. We will get the formation of the image here. So the image formed is having same height. So here we have the height of the object and the height of the image, both were same. So here the magnification of this plane mirror is the height, that is the size of the image divided by the size of the object. So if we consider the size of the object as h, then let's say the height of the image is h dash, then the magnification becomes h dash by h. So it is about magnification of a plane mirror. So now we all look at the mirrors every day. So now how much height of the mirror is required to see our height? So let's say we were standing here. In front of a mirror. The amount of height of a mirror required is half the size of our height. So if the height of this person is h, then the height of the mirror that is required is h by 2. So it is an important point. Another important thing to note is, in the magnification of a plane mirror, if we get a positive value, this positive value indicates that the image formed is virtual. If we get negative value in magnification of a plane mirror, then the image formed is a real image. So it is also an important point to note regarding the magnification of a plane mirror. So it is about reflection and images. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.